This is the Action Movie Guys podcast, bringing you action movie reviews from across the decades, plus box office numbers and insight like never before. And now your hosts of the Action Movie Guys podcast, Alex and Nate.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode number 306 of the Action Movie Guys podcast. I'm your host, Nate, and this is my co-host,
Alex Figueroa.
And on this episode, we are continuing on with our remake month. And here's the fun thing about this remake month, Alex. We never even reviewed any of these originals. We went straight to the remakes. And this week, we're doing a little movie from 2005 called Assault on Precinct 13. Now, this is, of course, a remake of a John Carpenter film from the 70s. So we'll talk about that in a moment. But before we do, let's go over this movie a little bit. Crazy cast. Every single person in this is someone you've seen before. Yeah. You got Ethan Hawke, Lawrence Fishburne, Gabriel Byrne, John Leguizamo, Drea Di Matteo, Maria Bello, that guy from Bosch, that other guy who's in a bunch of other stuff that's like a nerd, Brian Dennehy. They're all in this movie. And it's got a pretty crazy cast. Would you agree?
I do agree. And when I totally forgot like what the cast was. And then when I said, oh my God, that's the dude that sucks the lady's tit in End of Days. I was like, that is him.
Gabriel Byrne.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, it's him, Gabriel. So
it's my man Gabriel.
That's my man Gabriel. Every movie I see him, now that's what I say. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, you got every bad guy that you hated on one movie. You got the dude that didn't want to give ham and eggs to Rambo.
Brian Dennehy.
You got the guy who sucked the lady's titty in End of Days, Gabriel. You got him in the movie. You got Ja Rule if you like rappers.
Oh yeah,
Ja Rule.
He's an enemy. You got John Leguizamo, the fat clown from Spawn.
Fat clown from Spawn. You got Lawrence Fishburne as freaking The Matrix. There's Morpheus.
And we got that partner from Training Day. You got everybody in this.
You got Jake.
Jake. We got fake Evie from The Mummy 3. And Drea Di Matteo from The Sopranos. She was on The Sopranos. So, I mean, it is a good cast. We can't even, especially in 2005. This is like pretty much A-list. So let's talk about the first movie without reviewing it. But have you seen the original Assault on Precinct 13? And did you like it or not like it?
All right. So first thing, we did it as a live show. I mean, a long time ago when we had another partner that was working with us. We did a back-to-back with the original and the original remake and the original. I hated it. I didn't like the original. I'm going to be honest. I did not like the story. I thought it was boring. To me sometimes, and I don't know if you agree with me, when it comes to John Carpenter, I don't think he does good action movies. I could be wrong. Maybe you know more of his catalog to say yes, besides Escape from New York. I know people are going to say that. But in terms of a balls to the wall action movie, I don't think he has anything in his catalog besides Halloween.
No, he's better at horror, and he's a genre filmmaker, sci-fi. The best action he ever did was that 15-minute fight with Roddy Piper and Keith David in They Live. That was the best. That was awesome. Live? Yeah. Other than that, he's more horror. I agree. I don't even love the first Assault on Precinct 13. I saw it once, and I was like, I do like 70s films, but I don't like all 70s films. And that was one of those ones where I was like, I'm kind of bored. I know it's popular and it has a lot of fans, but I'm not one of them. So it seems like you're not one of them either.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it.
All right. So this leaves the door open for this movie to be better. I think Death Wish, we might agree the original one on that one was better, but
we can't shit on the remake.
We didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it as like other remakes that we did that I was like, these are horrible remakes.
Right.
That one, if they would have tweaked him being a surgeon with the actual architect, I would have been like, okay, this is actually a decent reboot, but it was still decent for what it was for that.
It's just not as good as the Charles Bronson
It's nowhere
one.
Near.
This one.
This
one could be, at least for us. So before we do, let's give you some quick Rotten Tomato scores and then let's get into the review. They're not amazing, but they're also not as bad as I thought they were going to be. I thought the critic score was going to be lower. It's a 59. So it's almost 60, which puts it at fresh. So a 59, anytime you remake a Carpenter, I feel like critics are like, this is blasphemy. Why would you do this? So 59 is surprising. What's really more surprising is the audience score, 48. I guess people didn't like it either. Maybe they felt the same way. Like, what? I like John Carpenter. I don't like this. What is this? What do you think? You think there was some of that going on? I don't know.
I agree. It could be that. I could totally see that. When you remake someone's classic film, you could see the hatred just start pouring on. And regardless if it's good or bad, look at now the Marvels. Before the movie started, everyone hated the Marvels movie. I was like, Jesus, the Marvels or whatever it's called.
The Marvels, yeah.
Oh, the Marvels, yeah. Everyone hated the movie before they saw it, and now all of a sudden Rotten Tomatoes is at 90 for audience.
What?
So I was like, yeah. Wow, you gave it a 2 out of a 10.
2 out of 10, baby.
But everybody, the Rotten Tomatoes went from a super low up to the 80s, close to 90.
People got to counteract when they feel something is being hated. But
Could be.
This is not one of those movies. I guess they're like, don't touch our John Carpenter films. Don't do it. Let's get into this review. Now,
Okay.
Alex, you're going to get to go first, and you're going to score our lead character. He's played by Ethan Hawke, and I don't remember his name.
His name is Jake.
Jake! Sergeant Jake Ronick. That's his name. Jake
Yeah.
Ronick. All right, take it away. What did you think?
I liked it. Okay, so I don't think he's a perfect character. He does have flaws, which I kind of enjoy, right? At the beginning of the movie, I love the flaw, right? Like he got injured during a drug bust.
Mm-hmm.
And he started to drink, and then he left the detective work or that type of work. I forgot what that's called. Undercover DEA, I believe, right? Like
He was like on the drug. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so like he left that work and now he stood to do this like desk job and he's a sergeant at this precinct. So I like that as a flaw. But I do like the character. I thought he was fun. He didn't have like the action switch turned on yet towards the end until his girl got killed. And he went, oh no. We went straight action Jackson style. And I liked his character. Not very complex, but he was a very complex character in terms of he was scared to turn on that switch again. He was scared to get people injured. Like he doesn't want to get other people dead. Like he felt like everything was on his shoulder and he was just starting to feel it. Ethan Hawke, I gotta say, another actor that's very great at his craft, but not very recognized. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Like he's not like I don't know, like a Brad Pitt's and you know what
He's
I mean? Like Denzel Washington.
Yeah, he's like a character.
Yeah, like I don't like he's a great actor. Like I was watching and said, man, this dude could play any type of cop version of a cop. I was like, he's really good. But anyway, it's kind of funny though, because this character and Training Day is kind of the same character. Like if you really look at it, Jake and this Jake, kind of the same type of character. But this Jake and that Jake. But anyway, you know what I mean? Yeah. I liked him though. I thought he was very fun. I thought he was good. He's a very believable actor. So I was into it. And even in the beginning when he said, man, you gotta tie up your dog, man. He gotta tie up the dog, and then he's slapping him around. Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool. And I think it set the tone for the film with that character. And I enjoyed it and I was fun with it. So I gave him a 4. I thought he was a great character, but I don't think he was perfect, but a great leading man for this type of film.
Oh, all right. We were very in tune in the last review. Let's see if we stay that way here. So far, yes, I give him a 4 as well. I think he's great. I love that opening scene where he's crazy and he got the shave head. He's like, I got a dog too. And then that guy comes in and starts slapping him and stuff. What the heck is going on? I think the opening scene is great. That little scene, not only does it have action in it, so it starts you off right on the right foot, like, oh my gosh, we're just in this dirty old apartment. Ethan Hawke's acting crazy. I love the way they just drop you in there. That's where the guy from Bosch is, the man on a ledge guy. Oh yeah, he's there talking with an accent, and he punches the dog
like 3 times.
Some people can't watch this movie if you can't look at animal violence. He didn't really do it, but he punched a dog right in the face. I thought it was funny. And so anyway, you got that scene, right? And that sets him up for later when he's like, I'm going to do no risk, easy work. He is capable of more, but he wants to do easy because he doesn't want that to happen. That right there is a great setup for a character that's going to be interesting to watch for the rest of the movie. So I agree with you. I think they did a good job there with him. I love Ethan Hawke. I 1,000,000% agree with you. One of the most underrated actors, period. He could play in a romance movie like the Before trilogy. He could play a bad guy in Black Phone. He was a bad guy and he was evil and scary. He could play the concerned dad. He could play, a heroic cop character. He was in Magnificent Seven remake. He was good in that. Like he is good in every single movie he's in every single single time. So I love Ethan Hawke. I think he's great. Yeah, it's a cop role. It is a little similar to Training Day. That movie, he's a little bit more like straight laced. No, he has less of an edge. I think this character has a little more of an edge to him. And I love his banter with Maria Bello too. I thought it was pretty fun. Like their little dynamic where she's like therapist or whatever. And he was hot. Oh, she looks great in this movie. Absolutely. So I did like him. I also gave him a 4. I thought he was very good. All right, now let's go to the villain. Now we're going to talk about this because ultimately I guess not the main villain. The big bad guy ends up being this Captain Duvall guy, which is Gabriel Byrne. But I really consider Lawrence Fishburne, Marion Bishop to be he's the villain of the movie that makes the whole thing. So I don't know how you want to score it, or we could talk about both of them.
I think, oh man, it's very hard because he's is kind of guy.
He's forced to work with him to escape this place, but he doesn't necessarily turn good. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but Gabriel is kind of going into a policing precinct and shooting him up.
Yeah, so we could score it. Yeah, we could score
whatever
you want. Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, we could do both, and then
we'll combine them.
Yeah, like all right. So in terms of Gabriel Burns' character, Marcus Duvall, I'm gonna give him a 4. He was great. I don't think it was a perfect. I mean, he didn't do much. Actually, first of all, he didn't do shit like at all.
He got a squad.
Towards the ending, that's all he did. He shot Lawrence Fishburne, and that's all he did. Oh, he shot the hot.
He shot Maria Bello right in the face.
Yeah, that got me mad. But I was like, but other than that, he didn't do nothing. He wanted to get in there because Lawrence Fishburne could rat him out, saying, this guy's dirty cops. And he was like, this is not happening. We're going in there and taking it. We're going to kill his ass. Which, honestly, they could have just did it easy. They could have just been like, oh, we're coming to get transfer to get him out. They could have just killed him right there. Yeah. They decided to go through all this shit. They could have just easily walked in as cops. Yeah. But it is what it is. Anyway, I was like, I liked him. He was good, but honestly, I will give his ass a 2. Like a 2 or a 1, to be honest, because he didn't do shit, at all. He didn't do nothing at all. Lawrence Fishburne, though. My man did some Morpheus moves in the church. Yes. When he stabbed that dude in the neck, during the prayer service, I said, oh, this guy is good. He had the glasses. He had the shades. He looked awesome. Mm-hmm. He went in there. He did his thing. He helped out. He helped Jake out. And honestly, Lawrence Fishburne was more complex than the actual bad guy in the film because he was like a cool drug dealer or whatever he is, right? Like a mafia type character.
He's just a gangster.
Yeah, gangster, like a top gangster dude, and has everyone in his pocket, which I kind of like because he could rat him out. I liked him. So, with that said, I'm going to give Lawrence Fishburne a 4 because he was great. Gabriel, I'm going to give him a 2. But if we're going to put them together, I'll stick with the 4.
I gave it a 4. I give the villain element, I guess. In movies like this, you have to kind of make exceptions to our rule where it's not a very lead direct guy who's the final, because it's mixed. And Lawrence Fishburne, the first chance he got, he was ready to bounce. He's like, we'll work together so I can live. That is it. Nothing else. Nothing more. And Lawrence, I would have, if I didn't have to score Gabriel Byrne, which I do, I would have given him a 5. I thought he was great. He's charismatic. He's exactly what I like. He's charismatic. He doesn't talk. He never yells in the whole movie. You know what I mean? Like, he just talks soft. But you don't cross that guy. He's scary. He'll stab you in the neck. He'll shoot you. He'll do what he got to do. He's a gangster who his main partner is Gabriel Byrne's character, who's a cop, a dirty cop, basically. Yeah. And he's going to testify at court because he got arrested and they don't want him to testify. And so Gabriel Byrne, you're right. He's outside. They don't even show him a lot. They could have been. I don't even know why they got Gabriel Byrne to play that role. They could have got like anybody else to play the role, and it wouldn't have made much of a difference. He does shoot the lady in the head, so I'll point for that because that was. You're right. That pissed me off too. I didn't even remember she died. I thought she was gonna make it. She gets blasted. I was like, holy crap! No one is safe. So he does that, and he's involved at the very the finale. But I give the whole thing a 4 because then also everyone else is just like nameless SWAT. Yeah. Nameless SWAT guys with suits. They're fodder. They're fodder to get killed. But overall, I think I guess the point is there's a good dynamic of good guys here and bad guys here. And then there's the mix in the middle, like the people in the jail where it's like, they're good, you can't be trusted. And then freaking your boy, Rambo guy, he turns out to be a piece of crap. And I knew it too. I knew it. But we'll talk about more with the storyline. But anyway, I give it a 4. You gave it a 4 as well. Okay, action.
This had action.
Yeah.
This had way better action than the original. I'll tell you that. This had way better action. I liked it. It felt very 2000s action.
Oh, heck.
This is very too action. I mean, but they had your lasers, bro. They had the green and red lasers.
I love lasers.
It looked really cool in the snow. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was cool. They had snipers. They had the tactical team coming in. They only had a few weapons. They went into the evidence vault. They used Tommy guns, axes. I loved it. They had samurai swords. I thought it was pretty cool. In terms of the action, I'm gonna give this another 4. I thought it was great action. I don't think it was perfect. I mean, yeah, it's perfect for this type of story, but I don't think it was like a ball, like it was an all-out bullets flying everywhere type of action movie, which I think it could have worked very well with this movie if they would have at least left a little crate of bullets and like tons of people coming in, but they didn't go down that route. I kind of liked it for what it was. Like the amount of action it was in. I love the whole them trying to run out with the SUV and they sniping everywhere. My only gripe, and this is why I don't give it a 5, the scene that the hot chick with the fishnets get into the Suburban with the other guy that we thought was the bad guy and they handcuffed him and all that, and it wasn't him, it was Jasper. I was like, okay, she gets in the SUV, and I was like, this is a Suburban in the snow. First of all, it's gonna handle well, okay? Yeah. It is like it's like moving mad slow, and the guy is shooting behind, and I'm like, all right, whatever. It turns the corner, and miraculously, the dude shoots the front tires, and then it flips 10,000 times, and I was just like, I gotta deduct point because it irked me. It reminded me of the town when the guy was Jeremy Ratner shooting the cop going around the car, and you're going, why? Yeah, it was a stupidity, and that to me was like a stupid ass scene. Because I was like, I don't get it. Like she's flooring it, and the car is going 2 miles per hour, and then it turns the corner, and the guy pinpoints accuracy, shot the front tire. I was like, come on, man.
In the snow.
She couldn't in the snow while snow is falling on his face. Yeah. Then she doesn't have control of the car, so she gonna run it into without hitting the brakes into and I was like, come on, man. I was like, certain things I will let it be, right? The disbelief crap. Yeah. But this, I was like, you can't. There was too many elements here for me to go, right. With the snow in his eye, he could hit a moving target. Like, no, I'm good with that. So anyway, that I had to deduct that, but I thought everything in the movie was cool. And the other funny part, before I let you go, is that when they were pouring gasoline everywhere, I was like, damn, this shit has a lot of water. Because he's flipping them going down, and I'm like, how many cans do they have? They keep flipping.
Why do they have so much also? And like,
they're not renovating, they're getting rid of shit. So I was
like, that Precinct's going out of business, or like it's closing down. Why do they even have so many supplies?
They have so many paint thinners. I was like, they're not renovating, so I was like, it made no sense.
Remember, the whole point is that they're closing that precinct. It's getting shut down, and yet all like their evidence room is all still full. There's like everything's full of everything. They got freaking axes and sword, like you said. Like, why? Either way, you gotta kind of just let it go.
Yeah, you have to. Anyway, I give it a 4. I thought it had great action.
Yeah. This is super 2005. This is all the way. This is cranked up. This is 2005 cranked up to 10 full. I'm okay with it. I grew up with these movies. You know, I was 18 when this came out. So let me tell you, I was like, oh yeah, baby, this is it. This is the cream of the crop. It's not. It is good though. It is fun. It's bloody. You know me. So this was me the whole movie doing this because I love blood. I love R-rated. Give it to me. Hard R. The freaking guy gets an icicle stabbed in his eye. I'm like, yes, I like that. People getting blasted. Blood. When Maria Bello gets shot and the blood's like pouring out of the back of her head in the snow. I'm like, oh yeah. I mean, I didn't like that she got shot, but I like it. Right. But then on the other hand, all the action is guns. It's just, and I don't love guns only action. So that being said, I do have to kind of keep in mind the whole rest of the world. And I do think it is very well shot. I think this is directed by Jean-Francois Richer, who's French. Now, we know him here from Bloodfather, but also a movie you watched, which we have not reviewed, Plane with Uncle Jerry. He directed that. So he's an action director. So I'm not surprised that the action is good. But yeah, I gave it a 4. I think it's very solid. I think there's a plenty of it. What I like about it is it's like action scenes and then like a little bit of story and then action scenes and then like a little bit of story. Yeah. The story is not, and we're going to talk about it in a second, it's not overwhelmingly deep or, profound, or it's just people in a space trying to get killed by people outside the space. That's it. And it leads to a lot of cool shootouts. The only, which part that made me mad too? When the two girls go in the car, the black girl and Maria Bello, and they get the car started and everything, and they didn't check the back seat. And that dude just like comes up in the back seat and shoots her in the head and they crash. And I'm like, oh my, what? You didn't look? You're doing all that. You didn't just check. Could just got out, ran away, whatever. Or take a gun with you. Something. I don't know. I digress. I think she did have a gun.
She had a gun. She had a shotgun.
She didn't even shoot him. Oh, well. Anyway, I hated that part too. But I gave it a 4 as well. I think it's good, solid 2000s action. You won't complain. You won't be like, oh, I wish this had more action. You won't say that. But you also won't say, that was the greatest action I ever saw. So, 4 out of 5. All right, storyline. What you got?
Okay, this storyline is the most generic story. I mean, look, they're doing the remake. I mean, they're doing the original Assault Precinct 13. A group of guys are going in to kill the bad guy. That is pretty much it. Now, Ethan Hawke and a group of innocent bystanders are in the way of that happening. Okay, but I kind of like the remake a little bit way better than the original. You have Jake, ex-DEA or narcotics agent. He gets shot in the leg, off the duty. Works in this precinct. They're closing it down on New Year's Day. Boom, New Year's happened. A bus can't drive through the snow for some damn reason. And they put Lawrence Fishburne in there. And little did they know, they have these cops coming in and they're trying to, the corrupt cops are trying to get him to kill him. I think this is the most basic storyline. I'm going to give it 3 because you know what? I kind of enjoyed the story. It was actually good. Yeah. And then Maria Bello, you could see that she liked Jake, but she didn't want to say it because she was his doctor. Yeah, and she was only there to have sex with Jake, and he didn't.
You can't touch my butt. I'm your therapist, but I want you to.
Yeah,
I wish you would.
Much.
It's New Year's. Let's get drunk. Let's get wild. Yeah.
So you could tell that she liked him and he liked her, and then when she died, you see him get elevated to like angry, pissed off
Mad Max.
Jake, and I liked it. Mad Max style, and I liked it. So look, all in all, I thought it was a good storyline. It wasn't great, wasn't perfect, but I thought it was better story told than the original. So I give it a 3 for good.
Yeah. All right. I mean, hey, I don't know what's going on tonight. We are right on the same page with maybe these movies were just very on the same page. You know what I mean? I gave it a 3. I had the same issues as you. I think it is very generic. And I also was able to, you could predict so many things that happen. I knew right away that guy was going to be bad. The Brian Dennehy character, he hated them too much. You know what I mean? Sometimes they play the hand a little too much, where he's just like, don't give that guy a gun. He can't have a... I'm like, bro, you're going to die too. Just let him have... What do you... No, the criminals. They can't... The criminals. I'm like, oh my God, shut up. He just seemed like he was racist too, because they were all like... It was like all black people and a Spanish guy. He's like, no, don't let these animals have guns. I'm like, he's a little racist, I think. And then when the other guy shows up, and they're like, how do we know he's not part of their group? He is part of their group. And there was that whole thing, and it could have been better. He just sits there like he's like a deer in the headlights. You don't even know what's going on. The only surprises were Maria Bello getting shot. That was surprising. I like that. But there's not really many twists and turns. You know, I do like twists and turns. For me here, everything you can see a mile away. And it's basic. This is a very basic. You're out there, we're in here. You want something we have. We don't want it. We're going to defend it. That is. Yeah. But sometimes that's all you need for a good action movie. And in that regard, I think it's, it doesn't hurt the film overall, but it's not a great story. So I gave it a 3 as well. All right. What do you have for overall?
I gave it a 3. I thought this was a good movie. Not great movie. I don't think it was perfect, but this was a good action movie that I could see myself watching again. I was like, you know what? It's been a while since I've seen it. And after rewatching, I was like, this is a pretty good movie. Like I could be like, you know what? One day I could go like, I'm doing laundry. I'm in the mood to see some Assault Precinct 13, the remake. Again, it felt like this was a better than Death Wish by far.
Yes.
I enjoyed this way better than Death Wish. But so far, a week back to back, I enjoyed the movies.
At either of these movies.
No, I was not. I enjoyed it. But this one I did like better than Death Wish. I think this had great action scenes, great lead actors. Ethan Hawke as the lead for the film. You had great supporting actors all over the place. The villains were all good. Overall, I give it a 3. I thought it was good.
All right, and we finally separate because I gave it a 4. I ended up really enjoying this film. Now, I think the story is not why, but I loved one thing you mentioned in there. I love the characters and the actors. So I could definitely watch this again. I love Lawrence Fishburne in this. I really love the dynamic of all the characters with each other. All of them. John Leguizamo, like, it was fun to see them all. Gabriel Byrne's the only one who's like, whatever. He's outside doing outside stuff. He's not much. But I had fun. Even though no, it's not watchable crap because I did give it high scores. I do think it is good. I actually think it is good. So it's not watchable crap. It's very 2000s. I also want to stop short of calling it dated because that wasn't that long ago. Yeah, but it feels like it was a long time ago. Like, if the movie plays like it was 20 plus years old already, and it's not quite there yet. 18 though. It is close to 20 years old.
But it has great replay replay value.
It does.
Certain films that when you put it on, you're going, okay, this is so not good for what it is. Like Cradle to the Grave. Like you're like, oh man, like to me, it didn't.
Cradle to the Grave. I will probably never watch it again.
Yeah, like when you watch that, you're going, like War with Jet Li and Jason Statham.
All
like
the Jet
that
Li
didn't.
movies.
Yeah, like that.
What is going on?
Those are like for some reason those are dated. You're like, oh god, like no. Even I'm gonna say it. I don't want people to go bitching at me. Jackie Chan movies, some of them, like Rumble in the Bronx, is fucking dated, bro. Like we saw that shit and I was like, oh my, this is horrible.
I mean, big hovercraft at the end.
Yeah, like but again, those were nostalgia for where we grew up.
Yes.
We're like, okay, these are fun, but like
they're not timeless. They're not for their time they came out.
This one, I could say is timeless. This one you could go, okay, I could watch this 10 years from now and you're going to enjoy it like if you enjoyed it now because you liked it. You're like,
I agree.
You know what? This is pretty good.
And technology-wise, there's nothing in it that's like, this is so old. Like, why are they sending, like, remember Assassins, the way they're sending emails? It's like, come on. This is like, what is, it dates it really bad. This doesn't have any of that.
The only thing it has is cell phone jammers because the guy goes, oh, they blocking the cell phones, which that's okay because everyone has cell phones.
You could do that now.
Yeah. And other than that, that's it.
And the phones look different. Maybe it's a flip phone. Whoop-de-doo. You know, that's not that old yet. No. So I agree. But I liked it. I gave it a 4. I was surprised. Okay. I actually have this in a 2-pack with a movie called Alpha Dog. I got to rewatch that now because I'm like, maybe it's a double pack of hidden gems. I don't know.
Talking about double pack.
What?
Talk about double pack. I got this movie. I don't own it physical. I got this as a double pack digital on Apple for $20. It was $10 a piece. So I got the original.
Oh, okay.
And then I had the remake. It was a 2-pack. It was like $20 and you get the original and the remake for $10 a piece. I was like, this is a steal. I was like, but you know what? I'm not gonna lie. This movie does come out with a 4K. I would buy it.
And it would look good. There's certain scenes where they're in the snow, and when Gabriel Byrne and Maria Bello are talking, and they're standing in the snow is coming down. It's like a wide shot. Like it honestly looks really good. The Blu-ray looks good. So yeah, I would. I liked it. I mean, a 4 out of I gave it an 8 out of 10, pretty much. Anyway, what is your total points? 18, right?
Yep, 18 out of a 25.
So still good. I gave it a 19 out of a 25. Okay. We had a good week this week. I mean, Mad Max, Assault on Precinct 13 remake. It's not always that we get 2 good to great movies in one week, but
it's not watchable crap. It doesn't go in our folder of watchable crap. No. This is actually above that.
Watchable crap has to be bad and we like it. This, I think, was legitimately good.
Watchable crap is Death Wish.
Death Wish is more in that category than this movie. This is like just good. I think legitimately.
Yeah, I agree.
Now we may have one next week because next week we are going to be continuing on Mad Max franchise with Road Warrior, and that's not the one I'm referring to. Road Warrior, and this is the one I'm referring to. Who knows? We're going to be doing the remake of a movie from like the 1950s. It's a movie called Ben-Hur. I don't know if you've seen this version of Ben-Hur. Alex, have you seen it?
I'm gonna hurt your heart right here, bro. I never seen it.
Never seen it.
I never seen the original. I never even knew they made a remake until you put the damn thing on the piece of paper.
Okay.
Who stars in it?
This stars, let me tell you, stars Jack Houston as Ben-Hur. It stars Morgan Freeman, okay? It stars the guy who played Xerxes in 300 as Jesus. I'm not lying. It's set during the Bible times. The original one was too. So it's, that's the storyline. That's all I remember.
Oh, Toby Cabell?
Tony Cabell. Oh, that's Koba from the Apes movies.
Koba. All right, Koba's in it.
So this stars Koba, Morgan Freeman.
Yep. Sophia Black Delia?
That's a lady, right?
Yeah
she's
Sophia
hot.
Black.
There's a hot lady in this. And then there's Xerxes plays Jesus.
And then James Cosmo.
Sure.
Actor.
Anyway, this version of it, Alex, just so you know, the original is one of those historical epics. It is, wide shot, big, and it's a great film. It is a great film, but it's, it's of the time. This is the action version of it. This was directed by the guy who made Wanted. So just to give you an idea of, we're not talking about, like Ridley Scott here. We're talking about guy who made Wanted directing Ben-Hur. So we're going to do a little of that, and we're going to see how it turns out, and if it's watchable crap or regular crap or good. Maybe it's good. I don't remember. I did see this at the theater, and I don't remember. I just know there's someone hot and Morgan Freeman and the guy that plays Jesus.
All I know is that once you say the actor's name and you go, who? You know that shit is going to be bad.
This stars
You go,
Koba.
who's acting?
I know him as Koba more than
that's
his name.
it.
Yeah.
Not even his name. You just call him Koba, like the character he played.
He's his friend. They're like best friends turned enemies in this movie. Him and Koba.
Like every Egyptian type movie.
Yeah, like every
Exodus.
ancient. It's like ancient Israel or something like that. I don't know. It's in the Middle East somewhere. So anyway, we're gonna be doing that and Road Warrior. You can't have two different movies if you tried.
2 in the sand, baby. 2 in the sand. Road Warriors in the desert.
Yep.
And the other, I guess,
and
is
Ben-Hur
in the desert.
also in sand.
All right. Well, all right. I can't wait. I'm gonna figure out where the hell I could get that from, but we'll rent it and have some fun. I hope there's not a little like extended cut of the damn movie.
I don't think it deserved it. I think it's just a one cut movie.
The socks and sandals. What is it? The
sword and sandals.
Sword and sandals edition.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, if you guys want to follow us, go ahead. What is there?
No, I was gonna say this one is only 2 hours, so we'll be nice.
Oh, good. I'm happy with that because sometimes when you click on those digital rent, it says there's more. You're like, what? It's like extended cut. And you're like, ah, crap. Okay. Guys want to follow us in our social media accounts? Please follow Nate over on Instagram at Netflix Reviews. Check out the podcast with him and his friends called Netflix Movie Reviews. Every other Monday, Nate goes live on his Instagram at Netflix Reviews with his old partners from the podcast. They sit down, they watch movies, they do movie news, they laugh with each other, they answer your questions, all live every other Monday when Geeks and Flicks Live is not on. Other than that, anything action movie, guys, head over to Instagram also at Geeks and Flicks or to our official website, www.geeksandflicks.com. Other than that, he is your host,
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
I'm his co-host, Alex Figueroa. Till next time, be awesome to each other and geek out.